Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a story time, and then I'll do what we're gonna be talking about right now. Okay, so but allow me or indulge me to actually tell you guys a story. Okay, so if you're new to this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today I'm gonna tell you a story about me growing up and fishing in the ports in Cebu, so Pier 1. All right. At the end of this video, you will actually see exactly why I'm sharing this. All right. So anyway, so my very first rod and reel was given to me by my uncle. He is a ship captain, and he's retired now, and I used to fish a lot on the deck of his boat, if not like at the port, because we were kind of allowed because we were with the boat, so entrance to the port was actually restricted, but because we went there for I think my dad was supplying them food or something. So with that, we were going in and out, up and down the boat and stuff, so we kind of had like the permission. So in one of the trips, he gave me a rod and reel, and then in between trips, because I could only fish when he was around or when the boat was around, I asked my dad if it was possible for him to actually take me fishing, and I was really bugging him to take me to the port, because that was basically what the news was. If you want to go fishing at the port. So I bugged him, and then it kind of became our Sunday thing or our weekend thing. It was Saturday, Sunday. We went to the port, and then I saw this one guy who was doing some sort of fishing I haven't seen before, and he was using a lure. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. And he was very specific. So I approached him, and over a course of several weeks of me just trying to talk to this guy, because he was just quiet. He didn't want anything to do with me, but I think when I was a kid, one of the things that I was very determined. So, and I was very curious until now. So, I kept on asking him questions and all this until he finally answered. And, he kind of warmed up to me. And then he basically taught me his whole system. He explained it to me. So this is basically, or one of the things that he taught me, I'm sharing with you guys. If he's alive today, which I would be surprised, and because he told me not to show or share this with anyone. Let's see, if he was around, he'd be like 130, 120 years old, So, and I believe that this is something worth sharing, because it's a very specific approach to something that's very general, right? And I'll tell you right now, I'll share with you how he makes his sabiki. That's it, okay? But it's very specific, because this guy was after small trevs, okay, like that small trevally, nothing else for his, like this one that he casts out. That's one. Two, this one that I'm showing you is very effective for this fish called like sapsap. It's kind of like a silver dollar. Okay, now if you Google silver dollar fish, you'll see exactly what I mean, but it's like that, but in salt water. Silver dollars are like in fresh water. Aquarium fish, actually. So I don't know the English, but if I find the English name of this fish, I'll put it here. Okay, otherwise you won't see it, but I'll put it here. Okay, so he was very specific, and he was the only guy that I saw that was actually catching like other fish with this technique, and then he was throwing them out. Okay, he was only taking those that he was targeting, and it was the first time that I've ever seen someone targeting a fish specifically. So for the stuff that he was casting, that was something else, because the weight was very specific. He had a small egg sinker and then a tube sinker cut at a specific length. Plus, because he was fishing a hand line, okay? And then plus at the end of that, he had like a twisted section of mono. Okay, so he had this twisted mono going through these two sinkers, and then that served as kind of like a spreader. Okay, now then he had like a 9-foot section of tapered leader. What does it remind you of? Fly fishing. And this is something that I only saw on magazines at that time, you know. And before him, I've learned only from the stuff that I learned from my uncle, because he taught me how to cast, how to use the rod and reel, and also magazines. That was it. And at this point in time, I was in like my early teens or something, if not just before I was 10 years old. So yeah, quite a long time. That's 30 freaking years ago. He was like in his 60s or in his 70s, so I guess he would be like in his hundreds now, you know, or at least around 80 or something. Wait, I'm almost 50, so yeah, about 30 plus years. If I was 8, then it would be 40 years ago, so he'd be dead by now. He'd be like 100 right now, you know, if he was 60 years old. Anyway, basically, his Sabiki rig was so effective on bait fish that he could literally fill up a basket just full of bait fish. And that blew my mind because, you know, he wasn't using bait. All right. So anyway, this thing is so effective, and that's it. All right. So very, very specific for the use. Now he used 7 to 8 hooks. We're just gonna use, like for this example, I'm just probably gonna do 5, you know. And then the hooks were very specific, so I'm gonna show you that. Okay, so the hooks are these, and I got this a really long time ago. That's the Mustad, okay, round bend C hooks, flattened Duratin, and the size is 570, but depending on the season, kind of actually changed. Now this is the third from the smallest that he used, and because I think there's 570, 571, 572, and 572, if I'm not mistaken, was the smallest one. It's tiny, and that caught the most. But as the season progressed, he actually kind of upgraded to bigger hooks and bigger rigs and stuff like that. So this is kind of like the medium thing. This is why I have this hook and I took it here with me, because I thought that this was the most useful, like not the small ones. So I've had this since I arrived in Dubai. Okay, so that is literally about 20 years or so. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I will show you this in a bit. Okay, the fiber that he used, it was a different sort of, it was different, a different fiber. Okay, but I saw that this is actually something that has the same properties and it works because I've tried it. All right, this is Congo here, and I got this from my fly fishing kit. So the good thing, the thing that you want with the fiber is that when it hits the water, it becomes translucent, and this does that. Now, most important thing, and I asked this several times, and he just told me to shut up and listen and just follow. 14 strands. Exactly 14 strands, nothing more, nothing less. And I guess he did some experiments before, and this is basically what proved to be the most effective. So that's that. Now, the leader, we have 4-pound test. Okay, this is 4-pound test line, so very, very thin. And I'm gonna show you how he does it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Okay. So his name was Manong Fredo, and pretty sure he's not with us anymore. Okay, now all we have to do is just put that, okay, and it's only 1 hook length at the back right there, okay, there, and then we'll take our mono and do a knot there. This is very simple. Okay, so what we do is make sure that it's on top, and then we just tie a snell knot. Okay, I do 5. That's it. That goes there, and then our knot goes on the bottom. Because we know better these days. We know that okay, and then we tighten. Okay, that is it. So you have your fibers like that. Okay, now we just cut our line. Okay, and then we'll make this long. Okay, we'll make this long, this leader, just so we have enough to actually tie it with. Okay, so there, like so. Cut this flush right here. There we go. This is not for big fish, okay? Not for big fish. This is for small fish like bait, okay? There we go. And it doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, this thing is all over the place. Just as long as you have 14 strands there, you're good, okay? That's that. Now, we make 4 more. Okay, now we're gonna assemble the sabiki, and we're still gonna be using the 4-pound test, but what it's gonna be very difficult to see, okay? But what we're gonna do is actually tie them this way, flip them over, and use them like that, so that the branches would go like this, okay? So one thing that you have to note is that other sabikis have long stems. This one, it's just like that. So it's very short. And he insists on this because he says that they move better. And I would agree with him, because the shorter the branch lines would be, then yeah, the shorter the movement would be almost instant. Okay? So normally he would use like 6-pound test for this, 4 for the branch, and then 6 for this. But we don't have 6, so we're just gonna use this. Oh wait, I do, but it's fluorocarbon, so no. Alright, so we're gonna use this. Now, the easiest way to do this is to, very first thing we do is actually take like a long length of this. That way we have a long working length, okay? So we'll take about 1 arm span. Okay. Okay, so from the end, you take about that much. Okay, and then you take your first one, and then you put the length that you want, which is that just that short. Okay, so it's about an inch or so. Okay, so hold on, let's go to the other end actually, because it'll make it easier. So from here you take about half a meter or so to give yourself a lot of line. All right, so your drop is going to be that. Now how you do it, how you attach it, is with a surgeon's knot. So you just loop like that. Okay, and then you take both strands and insert inside the loop, and you take like four turns. Okay, this was definitely easier when I was a kid. He would actually ask me to tie it for him because I could see better. Probably why he taught me. Okay, that's one. Two. See, you're taking the long part, and 3, 4. Okay, that should be enough. Alright, so once you have that loop right there, you just pull, and then make sure that your length is you just move it to wherever. Okay, there we go. So pull both strands to tighten. Careful. Alright, so there we go. Then tighten this, and you have it right there. Okay, that's it. It's that easy. Alright, so as you can see, when you're hanging it this way, it actually, see? Alright, so that's how you do it. Now we just attach the 4 others. Now this is the critical bit. Okay, so what you do is you take this, pull it down. You see where it ends? Like there. Okay, now you take it double, like that, like that. Bang. That is where you put your next one. Okay, so again, like that. Got your distance, and then you take your loop and then pass it 4 times. 5, 4, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna show you the Sabiki. Okay, so there we go. There. Okay, so I kind of messed up a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, so as you can see there, okay, that's it. Very, very sparse. And then I put the sinker here, and then here up here, okay, I'm gonna put my another swivel for my fishing line, but that's it. Okay, let me put like a swivel so you guys can see. All right, so I'm gonna put this. It's too big for this, but I'm gonna put it nonetheless just so you guys can see. And then I'm gonna put a snap at the end so that you guys can also see what it looks like, and that's gonna be where I would hook my sinker. Ideally you would use, okay, again, ideally you would use a small swivel here, but I'm using this so that you guys can see. So there's a really long length before the first one, and then the sinker is here. So the sinker is actually closer to the sabiki than the actually, you know what, let me tie on a sinker. My favorite size is size 1, okay, and I'm gonna just tie this off here so that you guys can see. You could do light sinkers if the current isn't too strong, and you can put heavier sinkers. Now that largely depends on the line that you have, of course. For this, you could adjust this to suit your needs, but that is basically this one. So it's a short piece, okay, so look at that, that's the whole thing. Okay, so you have the sinker, you have the swivel, and you can see those 5, and I'm telling you, this will probably outcatch a lot of commercial sabikis out there. As you can see, they don't snag, they just branch out like that. Okay, now try to be consistent with your lengths and your distances, and make sure they don't snag each other. But that thing takes me back, and yeah, this little thing right here will catch you a lot of bait. Okay, so just there you go for the thumbnail. There for the thumbnail. Okay, so yeah, just sharing. He's not with us, but what he has taught me is still around, and I'm hoping that you guys, one of you guys would probably use it, and down the line you would, teach someone and enjoy this thing as well. Alrighty, so there's a lot more that you can improve in this rig, as I have over the years, but what I wanted to show you guys was the specific one that he taught me. Alrighty, so yeah, again, if you want to learn more and you haven't yet, click on that subscribe button. If you want to have your friends learn with you, share this video, share this channel. If you learned something, more importantly, if you learned something, give this a thumbs up. And if you want to do more for this channel, click on that join button. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.